All right, I hope you guys have noticed so far that the ones that we've done have been in integrating the squat with the pelvic floor, and I'm actually going to show you today a little bit more of a core exercise, and a part of the core that many of us kind of forget to utilize is the side core. So side core, obliques, whatever you want to call it. It's really important that we really focus on not just squatting and glute control and also understanding how to connect your pelvic floor and your core and your diaphragm, but we need to be utilizing the deep core, the deep muscles of the core that wrap around our back muscles, our hip muscles, our glute med, and like all of these different things, which, you know, is just another glute muscle. And then you also have quadratus lumborum, and I could get all sciencey and boring if you wanted to, but I know that that's not why you're here. So one of my favorite ways to get clients to activate their whole side body is to do something like a side plank. And this is a really, really great exercise, and it can be really hard or it can be really easy. And so I'm going to show you a couple of different modifications, and I want you to be aware to make sure that you're doing the exercise to the intensity that you feel it. So you don't want to do it to the point of you have no strength feeling, you don't feel like the muscles are working, like that's not really going to benefit you. So you want to make sure you're getting to where you're noticing the muscles are fatiguing, but just like I said yesterday, it's not worth it if you're going to have pain. Make sure that you stop or you use a modification. So you're going to lay on one side, and you're going to make sure that you have your elbow under your shoulder. And notice I'm not rotated like this, I'm here. I want your hips in line with your shoulder, and then your feet in line with your shoulder, so your heels. And I'm going to have you put your hand on your hip because this just helps with balance. For those of you that aren't very balanced, you can put your fingertips in front. I've already worked out today, so I may very well rotate a little bit, but I want you to try to maintain a super straight line from your head all the way down to your toes. And you're going to do something called a hip lift. So you're going to go from here, and you're going to lift your hips, and then you're going to come back down. And you should feel that all on that side body. And remember, when I say side body, it's right below your rib cage to the top of your hips. You probably will feel a little bit in your hip as well. And I want you to breathe out as you lift your hips up. So breathe in here, and then breathe out. Breathe in, and out. So how is this affecting the pelvic floor? We have to strengthen the whole core in order to have a proper functioning pelvic floor. It's all connected, and you need to have a good, strong core, and that does include these deep muscles. Now, what if this is too hard for you? You can bend your knees and put your heels in line with your hips, in line with your elbow, and the same concept. Deep breath in, breathe out, and then back down, and then back up. You can even lift up and push the hips forward by squeezing your glutes and then coming back to that neutral position. Being really mindful of what muscles you're using and why. Because remember, if you're doing an exercise for a specific reason, we need to make sure that you're feeling that in the proper muscles. And so if you're feeling it in other places, that's something that you want to kind of modify or change it up a little bit. Also note, you have a lot of weight that is on your arm and your shoulder. So if you have shoulder pain or if you have shoulder issues, you want to make sure you put a pad under there, a yoga mat or something like that. Or if you can't get on your elbow for some reason, you can work on it with a straight arm. But notice that this is a longer way or a longer placement for you to have to move. So you have a longer way to go up and down, and you have a lot more that you have to utilize as far as muscles go. You're going to have to kick in some legs, and your arms are going to have to be really, really strong. So if you can't bend your arm, you can do it that way. And the modification, again, is just bending those knees and slowly lifting those hips up. So super excited to add that one in. That one is a great addition to any workout, specifically if you're trying to get those obliques strong, if you're trying to even get some glute activation on the sides of your hips there, and just making sure that you're working through that. And again, on Saturday, I'm going to give you a sample workout on how to incorporate this into the ones that I've already shown you. So hopefully you enjoyed that.